Hi. Well, welcome to our first assignment of the semester, the Argument of Fact essay. The Argument of Fact essay is to be a minimum of 1,500 words, in which you present and support an argument of fact as defined in Everything's an Argument, Chapter 8. So really one of the first things you need to do to be successful with this assignment is to read Chapter 8, because that's where our authors really describe the argument of fact. Okay, because an argument of fact is different from other types of arguments that we're going to be writing this semester. Your essay must cite a minimum of 6 sources, 5 of which originate in print or have print analogs. That means they're books, newspapers, magazines, academic journals, government reports. You do not have to get them in print. Most of my students do not. Most of my students use our library databases to access journals, magazines, newspapers. They use our databases to get ebooks. Government reports, who knows, maybe online. And of course, you might actually have a piece of paper. Doesn't matter to me. One or the other counts the same. Now, 6 sources is the minimum. You can always have more. That's not a maximum. These sources must be presented in correct MLA fashion with parenthetical in-text documentation and a works cited page. Okay, just standard MLA. Now remember, dictionaries, encyclopedias, and other general reference works do not count as sources. Okay, we're not digging into those generally speaking. Now, if you need to use them, that is okay, but they don't count towards your 6. Now, at least 2 sources must be from scholarly journals. Now, if you're not familiar what a scholarly journal is, first of all, you could, of course, take a look at our Triangle of Research videos, especially video 2, part 2, I should say. But a scholarly journal, or a peer-reviewed journal, is one of which is written by experts for experts. It's not written for the general public typically. Okay. Now, in our databases, we have 2 primary places to go to find these. One database is called JSTOR, J-S-T-O-R, no E at the end. J stands for journal, and all the works in JSTOR are scholarly journals. They're all from scholarly journals. The other source is EBSCOhost. Now, when you go into EBSCOhost, you need to click on the option for peer review only. Okay, peer review is what defines a scholarly journal. Okay, in other words, regular magazines and newspapers published by editors, right? Somebody writes something, they give it to an editor, editor looks at it, says, yeah, this is good, let's publish it. In the academic world, in the scholarly world, that doesn't happen. What happens is it goes to a panel of experts in that area, and they assess it. They assess the quality of that work. And if it's good enough, then they'll print it. They'll publish it, I should say. That gives us the highest level of credibility we can reasonably hope for in a human world. So you need 2 of those sources. And if you have trouble with this, please contact me, because I don't want you to have trouble finding these. You can get them on JSTOR, get them on EBSCOhost, but you go to EBSCOhost, you have to click on the option button. There's a little search button, peer review only. Choose that, and you'll be good. Your essay must also contain at least 1 table or figure properly noted and incorporated into the text. Found on the MLA website at this spot right here. So you go to that link and you'll see what we're talking about. Also, I do have a sample essay on our module, and you can take a peek at that sample essay, in particular see how the table and figure is handled in the sample. Okay, you must also provide a word count at the end of your essay. That's easy. It doesn't have to be anything special, just write down 1,683 words or whatever. Do not include the name block, the works cited page entries, or table or figure in the word count. And generally speaking, it's really easy to tell if somebody's met the minimum requirements or not. Now, the topic will be a topic of your own choosing, okay? You have to choose your topic. But just as a reminder, there are a few topics that are off limits. I don't take papers on abortion, death penalty, child abuse, and religion. Just forget about those topics. They don't exist for us, okay? Boom, gone, done. There are many other topics to choose from. Remember, good writing begins with good ideas. But good ideas are not easy to find. You know that the idea that comes right to your head the moment you saw this title, Argument of Fact? That is probably not the best idea. Because it's probably the same idea a whole lot of other people just thought of. Search around. Spend some time. Good writing begins with good ideas. But good ideas are not easy to find. A papers begin with A ideas. Kind of hard to take a C idea and turn it into an A paper. Now, of course, we have deadlines that need to be looked at. You're to submit a proposal to me on Canvas by Monday, February the 24th. Now, that's 2 weeks away, but the time will travel fast. The proposal should be written as described in Chapter 8, pages 180 to 181. In addition to what is described there, I want you to include 3 sources in an annotated bibliography, which means including an MLA entry and a paragraph of description and evaluation for each source. Check out the sample proposal in the fact module. I have underlined this for a reason. You need to look at it. You need to follow what it does. Okay? Anything else will lose points. I'll be creating work groups, and we'll talk about that when the time comes. It's not right now, so don't worry about it. I'll be creating work groups to which you will submit a rough draft on Wednesday, March the 5th, 11:59 p.m. for peer editing within the group. This draft should be as full and complete as possible, meeting all minimum standards required for the assignment. The more work you put into the draft, the better your final draft will be. Based on previous experience, I can tell you that the difference in the grades of essays that have been peer edited and those that have not is striking. Be sure to consult the out-of-class essay guidelines and the MLA handout so you avoid errors in presentation and style. Peer editing is to be done by Friday, March the 7th, 11:59 p.m. So in other words, you get 2 full days to do the peer editing on somebody else's rough drafts. Imagine it this way. There'll be a group, let's say 4 of you. 1 paper is yours. That means you're going to do 3 others. Okay, you get 2 days to do that. Then those people will all be doing yours. So at the end of Friday, you'll get 3 critiques, and everybody else will get their critiques. Take a look at those critiques. See what they say. Because you will need to revise and polish your essay and turn in the final draft on March 10th at 11:59 p.m. No late essays will be accepted without verifiable medical or legal excuse. So, again, minimum requirements for this assignment. At least 1,500 words. That only includes the composition. It does not include the works cited page or tables or anything like that. At least 6 sources, all cited in the paper. You, of course, as I said, can have more. At least 5 of those sources originate in print, okay, meaning, as I said, books, newspapers, magazines, scholarly journals. It doesn't matter how you get them. If you get a website, that doesn't count towards your 5, but you can certainly use that. When I say a website, I mean a web-only thing, if it's only published on the web. At least 2 sources must be from scholarly journals, but you can always have more. Again, my recommendation is to use EBSCOhost and JSTOR to get those scholarly journals. You do have to have a table or figure incorporated into your essay. Make sure that you check that out on the MLA website. And of course, also check out the sample paper that's posted in the module. And as always, MLA documentation for both in-text and works cited page. Okay. Now, if you have any questions at all, do not hesitate to contact me. I know this is one of the hard parts about doing an online class is I'm not right there in the classroom to have you raise your hand and ask a question right away. So you have to take the initiative basically to ask the question. Please do that. Don't sit back and go, I think I know what he means, but I'm not really sure. In that case, shoot me an email, send me a message on Canvas, drop by my office during office hours and surprise the heck out of me. Do something. Okay? Good luck.